Hi, I wanted to share a project with you that's got a couple very simple techniques that are kind of dreamy. This is a simple box, and I want you to look at the finish. Isn't this beautiful? I don't know how well this will come out on camera, but this is a beautiful mottled pearl. We call it Pearly mottled paper. Now, this graphic happens to be a Greek god with a bunch of writing over him. We've used Sue's art. This is Instant Art by Sue Weinberg. It is full, in case you haven't got it, of these incredible pre-done clip art. And they're every size if you're doing jars or lids or marbles, all kinds of cool things. The art in the front happens to match the glass slides. We've used one of the square pieces for this, and it's one of my favorite things, and Sue's one of my great friends, so buy this. Okay, because you'll use it a million times, you'll love it. Now, this box is folded. It's a simple origami fold. We're going to give you the directions. I promise you can fold them. They are great directions. I'm not going to fold them all here. You can also go to the episode on Home and Garden TV, Carol Duvall's show, and look up origami boxes, and you'll see me doing this with Carol Duvall on HGTV or DIY, wherever they're moved to now. But we've got great instructions. I promise you're not going to have any trouble folding these boxes. Now, this ribbon is also customized. This ribbon started out as a white satin ribbon, and now it has the look of a mock mottled silk ribbon. This is a cool technique. To my knowledge, I made it up. And I've been using it for years and years, and I like to teach it because customizing your projects is a big plus. So, let me show you just how to make this paper. And of course, use it on anything you want. Cards, boxes. It's a beautiful technique. You start with water-based inks. I'm using Distress inks, and there's a number of ways you can get this on the paper. You can use a sponge. I really like the direct-to-paper method. I just really love the whole look. Now, you can see we're not being excessively careful with this process, but I am trying to get a lot of ink on, because that's what will create the modeling that you're looking for. We're doing a small piece just so we don't take all day showing you this process. Now, when you get the ink on it pretty thick and the way you like it, you can also do some distressing. Distressing is when you take one of the aged looking inks, and of course Distress inks were made for this. You can take an aged looking ink and just butt it up against the corners. Now, I did this after my box was folded, but get some really beautiful edging. Now, that by itself, I think, is a very beautiful piece of paper. Now we're going to do the modeling part. You're going to need not a bottle that is a fine mist. You want a spitter, as we call them. You're also going to need a paper towel. And for this last part of the process, we're going to use Perfect Pearls. Perfect Pearls are mica-based powders. They've already got resins and binders in them. Once they're wet, they stick like paint. They dry permanent. They're like dreamy. And it's one of the products I helped develop, so I'm quite proud of them. Ranger makes them. And so we're going to squirt this down. Now this part, whoops, get it started here. You're just going to spit on your paper. Now, don't rub. You want to blot. Now, by itself, this process is gorgeous. Let's say you didn't want to pearlize it, you'd get this beautiful look of raindrop paper. Now, we're going to try to make these pearled. Just take Perfect Pearls. Now remember, you've only got wet paint in certain areas. And you're going to go over this piece as liberal as you want. And I use a nice clean brush to whisk off the excess. You could even use a paper towel if you want, and I'll show you what that looks like. If you're going to use a paper towel, just go in a swirling motion. Now, can you see this beautiful mottled pearled paper? You're going to find so many uses for this. I also like to make gift bags out of this. I take a white, like one of those big sandwich bags, a white gift bag. You can do this process, pearlize it. I do it for weddings. It's dreamy. It's so beautiful. The handmade look it's just exquisite. Okay, now let me show you how to do the custom ribbon. You're going to love this. Just take a piece of cheesy rayon satin ribbon. Now, you're going to take your water-based ink. Remember, you've got to use a dye-based ink. I love this process. And use any ink that's in your project. I'm going to use the two blues. you do this at home in 3 minutes, your whole table's a mess. And be liberal. You might even want to put some on both sides. Now these are water-based inks. You can also drag this over a pad, but remember, if you're using a rainbow pad, you're going to have to lift it because, let's face it, you'll have the same color through here, okay? Now, I'm going to add a little bit of brown too, just because it's in my project, and I like that distressed ink, and I like ribbons that have the look of age. What is it we love about age? It just has that look of a history. Isn't it great to think something's lived a while? Now, this process is quite silly. You're going to take a couple paper towels and bunch them up in your hand. Take this ribbon and scrunch it up in your hand and hose it down. This is the part of this process that really is important. You're going to compress this as hard as you can. And when you're done, you will have a beautiful, custom to match your project look of silk ribbon. Is that gorgeous? Can you see it off on the white? This is going to dry lighter. It's a water-based paint. Remember, whenever you're working in water-based things, that they usually will dry 30 to 50% lighter. So this is a gorgeous custom-made ribbon. Now, imagine your card or your project. Look at this beautiful custom work. Isn't that great? So enjoy. Get yourself some Perfect Pearls, some Distress ink. We also have the ribbon if you need some. Otherwise, please go to your yardage store. They're the cheapest ribbons on the planet, but you can make them just exquisite. They'll match everything you do. So enjoy this project tip. Thanks for watching.